That's good. That's good stuff. Sponsor me. All right. So I'm done drinking alcohol. I'm quitting. For now. You see, I'm 25 years old. And since I was about 14 or 15, back in high school, I've been drinking on a somewhat pretty consistent basis that entire time. So maybe it was every weekend, or maybe it was a couple times a month, or maybe it was a couple times a week. Whatever it was, for that entire 10 or 11 year period of my life, for the last 10 or 11 years, I've been drinking pretty consistently, I'd say. I drank in high school whenever there was parties or whatever it was. I drank in university because that's what you do in university. I then moved out downtown with my friends, and we drank all the time there as well. And I don't have a problem or anything like that. This is really what I would consider like pretty regular practice or standard procedure for a guy in his 20s or his late teens. But the idea of quitting drinking has been something that has crossed my mind a few times in the last few years. But only recently have I considered that in this 10-year period that I've been drinking, I haven't actually taken a substantial period of time off from drinking ever. From what I can remember, the longest amount of time I've ever taken off from drinking was 6 or 7 weeks. And that happened in July of this year, so only a few months ago. And as I reflect on that, it kind of seems insane to think that in 10 years of drinking, the longest period of time I've taken off was only a few months ago. Like, I kind of can't believe that I haven't gone without an alcoholic beverage for longer than that period of time. And I also know this isn't my typical video format for those of you who know my channel. To be honest with you, I have COVID, so I feel like shit. And I also just got back from a boys' trip to Nashville with my friends. And I think I'm medically hungover for the next month. So I kind of wanted to just get on here and post something and kind of let you guys know a little bit about what's going on in my life. And so as I reflected back on why it was that I've never really taken a break from alcohol for a substantial period of time, really comes down to a couple of things. And the first is that it was fun. Like, I went to high school, had fun there drinking, went to university, had fun there drinking, left university, had fun drinking then. Like, there's a lot of fun nights I had out with my friends, doing dumb shit, drinking beers, whatever it was. Like, I don't want to discount the fact that, like, I found it fun and I enjoyed it, like, quite a majority of the time that I was doing it, at least. And that was also the social norm as well, right? Like, that's just kind of what was expected of you, expected of a guy like me, my age at least, for the period of life that I was going through. But that was really like the earlier years of drinking for me. And as I've gotten on to the more recent years of drinking, I've realized that the reason I haven't really taken a break is because there's always an excuse to drink. Like, most of the times I've found myself drinking in the last couple of years is because there was just a reason to drink at that specific place or at that specific time or event or whatever it was. Maybe it was a party or whatever. Maybe it was a friend's birthday, or it was New Year's. Like, there was always a reason that I should be drinking, because it's like, well, I have that thing. Like, I, get a drink then. So I can't really stop for that long because this event's coming up, and, well, we can't go a month now because, this guy's birthday's coming. Like, whatever. There's always something that was in the way. And there was a lot of times that I actually dreaded drinking, right? Because like I mentioned, this idea of quitting had been on my mind in the past, but I felt like I was almost obligated to drink because of the place that I was at, or whatever event was happening, or because everyone else was doing it. And so when I dug down another layer, what I realized was that the reason that I was actually drinking isn't because there was always an excuse to drink, but rather because there was a bit of a social pressure for me to drink. A pressure from other people, but realistically a pressure mostly that was coming from me. And so a big reason I drank at those events that I called excuses is because, one, I felt like other people would judge me if I wasn't drinking. They would think I was weird, or they would ask why I wasn't drinking and I wouldn't know what to say. But two, it was also just because I felt like I would be awkward if I didn't drink, or I wouldn't know what to say to people if I didn't drink. Like, I'm sure as a lot of people know that are watching this, drinking is a huge social crutch. Like, it helps people get over the awkwardness of small talk or getting to know someone for the first time. Like, I know there's science to back that up and whatnot, but for me at least, alcohol has been, a big reason that I was able to like get through a lot of those events and those nights that I went to. And so for a long time, I wondered what a lot of these events would be like if I didn't have alcohol as some sort of aid for me to kind of get through them. And I think that it would be really difficult for me to do because it's been something that I've relied on for literally a decade of my life. And so I think the reason that I'm giving up alcohol for the time being isn't really so much because I have a problem or because I care about the health effects or whatever, or because I want to like better myself, any of these sorts of things. Like, I know those are all benefits to it. But for me, I think it really is just like a bit of a social thing. Like the idea of having to go somewhere or telling people that I'm not drinking or whatever, going someplace without alcohol that I typically only go to when I drink alcohol, it's just kind of a challenge for me. It's a bit of a comfort challenge. Like, I'm so comfortable going to those events drunk. Going to them not drunk will be, well, just challenging. And so as of right now, I've told myself and pretty much everyone else around me that the period of time I'm taking off of drinking is 6 months. So I haven't had a drink of alcohol since October 15th. And so I guess 6 months from October 15th, whatever that is, October, November, December, January, February, March. So April 15th will be the 6 month mark. That is the minimum amount of time I'm giving myself. But truthfully, who knows if it'll go longer than that. Maybe I'll make it a year. Maybe it'll be forever. I don't know. But I wanted to give myself a minimum of 6 months. And I didn't pick 6 months for any specific reason other than I wanted it to be substantially longer than the previous longest break I've ever taken, which was 6 or 7 weeks. But also I wanted it to be long enough so that I gave a long enough time period for enough of those events that I would typically call excuses or whatever. So whether that be New Year's or Halloween or Christmas or friends' birthdays or just parties or bar weekends or whatever it was, within those next 6 months, I'm going to have all those events occur, and I'm going to have to show up to them. Well, I don't have to show up to them, but if I do show up to them, I'm going to do it sober. And so I wanted to give myself enough of those scenarios to encounter in order to make this as challenging as it could really be. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. I know I typically have these videos with these big epiphanies or properly scripted out and they have an ending, but this once again is kind of just a check-in video. I wanted to just let everyone know this is the journey I'm going to embark on. I'll probably check in 30 days, or I'll make a video being like 100 days without alcohol. Like, this is what I learned, like every YouTuber does. But yeah, also wanted to extend the invite to any of you. If any of you have wanted to give drinking a break or feel like you've been in a similar situation to me, please give it a try. Join me for the next 6 months, not drinking. Feel free to message me on how you want to contact me. Let me know how it's going or any struggles you're having. I'd love to hear from you as well. But I kind of wanted to just share this with all of you to, once again, just give you an update and let you know kind of what journey I'm embarking on for the next little bit. But other than that, have a good one. If you've watched this long, I appreciate you as always. And I will see you guys very soon. Peace.